Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
Replay Guitar Exchange is your premier independent guitar store. Being independent is good. With all of the major brands, including new, vintage, and pre-owned, you can find the guitar, bass, amp, or accessory you are dreaming of. From vintage to the newest models, Replay Guitar Exchange can help you find that perfect piece. They have industry veteran expert staff, all players like you down to the owner. You aren't just getting a great guitar, you're getting the Replay difference. Find them online at replayguitar.com and find your dream guitar today.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that rock shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsdesigns.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook for special offers and custom orders. That's sasspantsdesigns.com, sasspantsdesigns.com. Sass Pants will make you the envy of the party.
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
You kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
See, son, old legends never die. They just lose weight.
He's like a legend and an out-of-work bum with a lot of life.
Yes, it is party time. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. And hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you, and it's always good to be seen. Izzy Presley here on another fucking podcast. Did one on Sunday. If you didn't listen to it, just the gist. It was me complaining about shit, but still talking about how shit is great. All at the same time, right before I went to see Black and Blue, and ironically tonight in studio I got Brandon Cook of Black and Blue because he's still hanging in town. We'll get to him in a second. Please do hit up all of the social media at Real Izzy Presley all the way across the board, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for the entertainment stuff, and of course the podcast pages, Another Effing Podcast. Make sure you hit that shop button, go to the Teespring store, buy t-shirts, support, do all that kind of stuff. If you don't want my stupid t-shirts, you can just send me money. IzzyPresley at yahoo.com is the PayPal address. And I'm always excited to receive those donations, especially now with all the shit that's happened. Go back and listen to the last podcast. You'll find out. We don't need to get into any financial talk this evening because we're here to have fun. We're here to talk about rock and roll and cruises and all that kind of good stuff. In studio right now, before we get to Brandon, first half of the show brought to you by Beater Amplification. That's Beeter. Hit them up, beateramplification.com. These things are fucking badass. Balls out, rock and roll tone, testicular fortitude, wrapped into 100 watts of power. Pull two tubes and you got a 50. 3 channels go from Metallica old school to AC/DC to that clean ass Fender tone, all with the flip of a switch. Hand-wired tube amps. They are fucking amazing. Brandon just got done abusing mine for 45 minutes. And hearing somebody actually that can play good through that thing was a beautiful, beautiful thing. But right now we are welcoming to Another Effing Podcast, Brandon Cook.
Hey, man.
Black and Blue, An Appetite for Deception.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I love this podcast.
Thank you.
I love my Izzy.
Careful, I blush easy. All right, that's a great show. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. I'll just I'll just take the admiration and then call it quits.
Man, you're a cheap date, Izzy.
I know. What can I say? You just played at the Whiskey on Sunday, which is of course the iconic venue. Did a little 3-show run.
Yep, we did Salt Lake City on Friday night with Black and Blue, and then Saturday night we played with Vane at Vamped in Las Vegas. Black and Blue headlined, and we just both bands just crushed it. It was really awesome. And then Sunday night, I mean, it felt really good playing at the Whiskey, man. The audience was really into it, and I just felt really welcome. It was so cool.
Well, yeah, dude, it's such a cool fucking venue. I mean, it's iconic.
Yeah, I mean, to get to stand in the same places that, like, you know, Jakey Lee and Randy Rhoads and all these guys at the beginning of their career stood. I don't know. It just feels like hallowed ground sometimes, you know?
Yeah. How long have you been in Black and Blue?
I've been in for 5 years now. My very first show was this thing called Rockin' Skull in the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
A long time ago now, it
yeah,
seems
moons
like.
ago, yeah.
Yeah. And I get my favorite part of playing in that band is playing with Pete Holmes.
Right?
That dude is unbelievable, man. It's just like he lays it down and you're like, wow, that's a groove.
Right.
Did you just drive a dump truck through that fucking groove or what, man? It was really
cool.
great.
How'd you end up with the gig? I mean, you were, because they're Jamie's based out here, and the band is kind of all over the place, right?
Well, Portland, Oregon is where I live, and me, Patrick Young, the bass player, and Bob Kapka, we all live up in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, around the scene, you know, our old guitar player, Sean Sun and Shine, he actually saw me play at Dante's Bar and Grill up in Portland, Oregon, and he was needing a sub for some things, and he said, "Hey man, if you guys ever need a sub, you should call Brandon. You know, he's really good," or whatever. And then a few years later, Whoop left the band, and Sean was still in, and I got a call on the phone. I was in New Seasons, which is like a local organic grocery store up there, and I'm like walking through the store, and Patrick's like grilling me about, "Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do that? This is what we do, la la la." And like we have shows in it was like 2013. We have shows in October and November. Can you be ready for those? And I was just like, yeah, no problem, right?
Right.
And it literally, Black and Blues music is the hardest music I've ever had to play.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've played like Dream Theater and Megadeth and all kinds of stuff, you know, in bands, and Black and Blue is the hardest music to play because it has so many nuances. It's like the key changes in certain places and little tags at the end of this verse, but the tag's different at the end of that verse, you know, like making sure I have all my harmony vocals correct and stuff like that. You know, they're not like giant super hits like Don't Stop Believing and stuff.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of it, I didn't know the music very well, and learning all those nuances and like the solos and trying to get them right. Plus, Tommy Thayer's feel is totally different than anything I've ever played before. So it was really like, this is interesting, you know, and it kept me focused. And I got to tell you, man, the detail that those guys know the Black and Blue sound, it's so in depth, and I got my ass whipped.
Wow. Were you a fan of the band before? I mean, I'm assuming you were familiar with them, but
oh yeah. I mean, I knew who they were and stuff like that, and I'd listened to their stuff, but I didn't know any albums. I was just, you know, friends with the guys in the scene. And
yeah.
Saw Patrick around every once in a while, and my friend Mike Collins actually introduced me to him on the guise of like, "You should get that guy to play in our project, Patrick." And I was like, "Hi," and instantly anxious, like, "That's Patrick Young from Black and Blue. Oh my god!" And
yeah, right.
And we eventually just like kind of hit it off, and it worked out really well.
We got Canada checking in. Scotty Strickland, welcome. As a cruiser, Monsters of Rock cruise. He's unfortunately not going to be on there this year.
Bummer, man.
Yeah, because it's fun when you walk by Scotty, you just yell racist. That's kind of his trigger word, and he has to take a drink.
You say racist and he drinks?
Yeah. It's all Johnny Martin's fault. It started on this podcast. And Jeff Jacobus, you crazy bastard, checking in from Florida. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. You guys did a show. Was it last year with Tommy?
Yeah, it was this year actually.
Okay, it was this year. Okay.
In June, we had a festival in Corvallis, Oregon, or Lebanon, Oregon, and it was called the Strawberry Festival, Strawberry Fields Forever Festival, and we totally were able to set up a. Tommy actually planned the whole thing. It was a benefit for Annette Holmes.
Okay,
they have a GoFundMe account for Pete and Annette because they have like really, she's got cancer and she's got extensive medical bills. And Tommy did this really awesome thing for her. I mean, we earned $25,000 that night.
Damn,
it was
dude, that's
fucking
awesome.
It was so great, man. And Pete and Annette finally got some really, pliability with money. They were able to pay for shit, and so it was really cool. And plus, Pete's playing with Rats, so he's got a good gig and stuff like that. But yeah, that Tommy Thayer gig, I was just like on top of the world. I got to play with the guy. So
Right. Well, I mean, he's in fucking Kiss.
Yes.
You know?
And I mean, he's a really amazing player.
Yeah.
He playing with him was so different than playing with Bob. Bob's a great guitar player. He's one of the best players I've ever played with, and Tommy's just different. Like the way the songs in Black and Blue feel with him playing, it's so different, and it's very 70s kind of like rock and roll feel.
Right.
As if I don't know, if like there's like Foghat and Kiss and like that kind of loosey goosey, just like spank the fuck out of the guitar strings playing. I love that shit.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. I mean, it's because you can almost say the same thing about him in Kiss. It's like as great as he is, as well as he plays in Kiss, it's still not Ace.
Yeah, it's
because it's just it's all in the hands.
Yeah, it's very different. I mean, I've seen live footage of both bands.
Yeah.
One with Ace and one with him, and I'm like, wow, that's really different, And I saw Ace a couple years ago in Portland with the old band, and fuck, that band was so slamming, man.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to see him with the Rock and Roll Residency.
Oh, I know, dude. They're playing out here in January. I'm just fucking stoked.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know if they're coming to Portland?
We can find out. We got this thing called the internet.
The intertubes.
The interwebs. I usually just use it to look at pornography and, of course, broadcast this epic show. Let's see. Ace.
What's pornography?
I don't know. There's like boobies and cum shots and stuff.
Oh,
Ace
wow.
Frehley tour. Let's see. I should have just had one of my minions do this for me. But, that would be way too easy. Let's see. We've got...
I forgot to ask. Are we allowed to say fuck on this show?
Well, it is called Another Fucking Podcast.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Because I like to say fuck sometimes.
Let's see. No, these dates are not up. Jesus Christ, Ace.
Yeah,
Get
come on,
your
Ace.
fucking website. Okay, let's just go to StubHub. Let's see what StubHub says. It's pretty sad. Okay, near Burbank, yes. January 25th. Okay, let's go Ace Frehley. Portland. Search. Come on. Click that, you sumbitch. No, don't spin. All right, hold on. Ace Frehley.
The reason I'm trying to figure this out is so I can call the promoter and so my band can get on the show.
There you go. There you go. That's the, come on. What the fuck? Come on. So you have to clear my porn cache. All right, there we go.
Clear cache.
Saturday, January. No, I don't want.
I wonder if there's a porn site called Clear Cache. That would be funny.
There might be. Wednesday, January 23rd at the Neptune in Seattle. That's the closest one.
Neptune in Seattle?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Well, you're not that far from Seattle.
No, it's not. I'll just go up and hang out with Mr. Neil Lim Song and his beautiful wife, Erin.
There you go.
And fucking chill for the weekend.
There you go. Good. Always invite yourself. That's always the best way to do it.
He always tells me, dude, anytime you want to come up, blah, blah, blah. Because I love that guy.
Yeah, it's nice having those options. Rihanna. Welcome to the...
Rihanna Menace?
Yes.
Hi, Rihanna.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, Veronica. That's her nickname.
I did not know that. Had you met Tommy before?
Tommy Thayer?
Yeah.
My very first time meeting Tommy Thayer, his brother John had a band, and I played in that band with my buddy Jeff Buhner, who I actually have a band with now called The Low Order, and that's how we hit it off. But like, John Thayer put me in touch with our mutual friend Tom Holland, and Tom was doing the Oregon Music Hall of Fame gig for inducting Black and Blue, and they were like, Tommy needs a guitar tech. And I went, I'll do it. Of course.
Right.
I'll do it. And I ended up actually getting to jam with Black and Blue that night.
Oh, wow.
Not on stage, but like during sound check.
Okay.
And I just started up playing Riff Raff by AC/DC. and Pete just like slammed into it, and I'm just like, "Whoa, I've never played this good before with a band." It was like just jamming. It was really good. But anyway, I got to be Tommy's tech that weekend, and he was super cool to me, paid me and everything. It was awesome.
Wow, that's it's usually a good thing when you get paid for doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was cool. You know?
It's like, well, Brian Ott, the guy I do the karaoke with on the Monsters of Rock cruise, when Gene and Ace did that thing in St. Paul last summer.
Oh yeah.
The residency was Gene's band, so they called him, and so he got to tech for those guys, Gene and Ace.
Were you out there that weekend?
No.
Oh, okay. Man, I remember seeing that. It's like they played at the Twins.
No. It was at the Saints at the Independent League Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, and Cheap Trick happened to be on the bill too. You
Yeah.
know, darn.
Wasn't it Ace's band, Cheap Trick, and Gene or something? I can't remember who else was on there.
I can't remember if Ace. I don't think Ace used his band. I think he might have used those guys.
Oh, okay. That's what it was.
You know, just. But Ace just jammed with Gene. He didn't have a full set.
Yeah. It always blows my mind to see Ryan and Phil just like standing there. The grins are just unwipeable.
Oh yeah, dude, it's shit-eating grins. It's like it's like the David Lee Roth perma-grin.
We're playing with our heroes right now. That's amazing,
right?
dude. I'm so happy for those guys.
Oh, dude, I am too. Great people. When Ace is on tour, make sure you check those guys out.
Hell
Especially now because you got Kiss geeks in the band. Mm-hmm. So the set list has changed a little bit.
He said they did 2,000 man.
Yeah, well, Ace has kind of done that on and off.
Okay.
But I mean, they did like Two Sides of a Coin and just like Hard Times, which is one that Kiss fans always request, and then
What record's that on?
Dynasty.
Hard Times?
Yeah.
Shit.
Hard times have come and gone because the hard times. And then I think they did. The one that people always ask for is off of The Elder. The fuck song is that? I'm too lazy to look.
A good song that you love.
A good song that I love. So you've always been in Portland. I don't know why I thought you lived in Cincinnati or something like that in Ohio.
Well, I actually grew up in Washington, D.C. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm an East Coast kid from the birth, and I lived in Boyd's, Maryland, this little town. It was at the time it was like a corn and cows all over the place, and like I moved to California when I was 11 years old, and then I moved to Portland when I was 18. And we just had. That's where all that stuff was like where I got into music, and yeah, sure, I love that. And I started studying guitar when I was 13 in California, and I moved up here and went to music school, or up to Portland, that is, and went to music school and studied jazz guitar at Portland State University.
Jazz guitar.
Yeah. It was kind of fun, and then like they put me into the pep band because they knew I could play rock. And everyone was just like, "Dude, where did the rock thing come from?" And I was just like, "Well, I've always been a rock guitar player," and it kind of made sense. And I was just like, "All this jazz stuff, I like it, I love it so much, but at the same time, it's just not my heart."
Right. Well, how much did jazz teach you?
Like I really value all the things it taught me, like reading music and like learning to sight read and learning to do things that are out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And all that stuff was really, really valuable to me. Like just took me to another level of another plane of playing. And, you know, I'm really like independent thinker, especially at that time, very intellectual, trying to like figure out my way in the world. And I butt heads with my instructors sometimes, but there was this one instructor that I had that like taught me more than anybody else there. His name is Daryl Grant. And that guy, he played with everybody. I mean, he was really deep in the jazz thing and like full on bebop piano player. Mm-hmm. But he saw me as like a rock guy. You know, he's just like, "I know what you are. You're gonna sing and stuff, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe." And he's like, "You're also like, you love this kind of music." So he like pulled out an Aerosmith record and said, "Learn this."
Oh, wow.
In the middle of jazz school, and I'm just like, wait a second. You're giving me stuff I like.
Yeah, what Aerosmith record was it?
I can't remember because it was a while ago. It was like 20 years ago now. But he pulled out, I think it was like a greatest hits or something like that. Maybe Toys in the Attic. I can't remember. It was like kind of early 80s release. I can't remember. I think it was Toys.
Okay.
But he gave me that, and he gave me a Mike Stern record. He gave me a Prince record.
Oh, wow.
He's like, learn this shit. And I was like, okay. Lo and behold, a couple years later, I actually joined a Prince tribute band.
Really?
Yeah, you know Julian.
Yeah, Julian.
Stefani.
Yeah.
Yeah, he and I played together about 10 years ago, and that was a whole new level of playing for me again. You know, I got to learn how to dance on stage and play guitar.
Right.
But you know, like that was all like what jazz school taught me was that you're allowed to be an evolution. You're not pigeonholed by the things that you start with. You know, I was all into prog metal and stuff like that, and I didn't realize how limiting that was for me. You know, because I love so many different kinds of music, but prog has this snob factor to it. No, everything's about perfection and
right.
idealism and stuff like that. And I'm a little bit more like, I think, organic than prog metal is. Prog metal's like steel. It's very like there's a process to it, and it takes
there's math.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like it, you know, there's certain bands that I really love, and Dream Theater was a huge influence on me. For me, like who I am, that was limiting to me, and like jazz sort of like broke all those boundaries. It made me listen to stuff I liked, like the Eagles and like Fiona Apple and like Jewel and things like that, instead of only prog. Only things that are extreme, because that's what's cool, and that's all you're allowed to listen to. If you don't like that, then you suck. That whole dogma that's attached to like technical music.
Yeah.
And jazz school has a lot of that kind of stuff too. You know, like there's a dogma attached to that stuff. And if you don't like this thing, you suck. And if you like that, that sucks. So you suck. And it's like, fuck this. I want to rock.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we do the Cruise to the Edge every year. And, and look, I'm not a huge prog fan. Let's do these shots, by the way. Cheers, motherfucker.
Shots, baby.
Scotty Strickland, why don't you join us, racist?
That made me laugh. I almost choked on a fucking shot.
I apologize. Hey, that's what she said.
You know, like, in the real prog world, like, oh, yes, and like those guys, when I hear them talk about music, they're all inclusive.
Yeah.
That was what I liked about prog. You know, when I hear Mike Portnoy talk about music, he's always just like, more influences are better.
Yeah, which I think is I mean, obviously, like you've just said, I mean, everything that you've kind of learned over the years, you can't argue with that.
Yeah, no, you can't. It just really helped me become like I mean, I don't know how good I am in comparison to like people that are really amazing, like Joel Hoekstra and Richie Kotzen and stuff like that, and I don't care. I just really like put the time and effort into like making the music that I want to make now.
Yeah.
Instead of like comparing myself to someone who I idolize again. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have the Kotzen Telecaster. I know I'm never going to play like Richie Kotzen.
Yeah.
You know, I can learn a couple riffs. I can't learn a whole song, but I can learn a couple riffs.
He's like a 1% guitar player, maybe like a 0.5% guitar player.
Well, actually, even I would say even a smaller percentage because he can sing like a motherfucker.
I heard something sounding like Chris Cornell on the boat one year, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I walked out, and I'm like, that's Kotzen? Holy shit, because I hadn't heard him sing in a really long time.
Yeah.
I heard his early 2000s like blues records kind of stuff
like
that, and then heard him singing with the Winery Dogs, and I was just blown away, man. And then I saw the trio with Dylan and Mike.
Oh, fuck. Those guys are just solid as fuck.
I was watching Dylan just like mesmerized. I'm like, that guy has pocket, man.
Oh, I know.
Dylan Wilson's just so amazing.
And people just don't even realize it because they're just so fixated on Richie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing about Richie too is he plays everything. It's like all those records except for like the new stuff that he just came out with.
Yeah.
That's all him. Everything.
Really?
It's him.
So the guys don't play with him? It's him playing.
Yeah.
Drums and all that. Oh my God.
But the new stuff, the last couple singles that came out, that's the band.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell, I mean, Richie's God, but you can tell a difference that it's just a little bit more groovy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the guys, the experts in their field. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, for me as a guitar player, I spend less time looking at guitar players. You know, I appreciate what they're doing, but it's almost like I'm always looking for my band. I'm just like, I'm like, that guy's really good. He would be a great bass player in my band or whatever, you know, just always kind of like, or like just really appreciating like how they support a singer and a guitarist like Richie, to be like humble enough to not like totally shred while Richie's shredding, and like just to lay back and hold that pocket down and just lay out a huge, canvas for him to paint on. It's just amazing.
Well, and that's the thing. One of the things that I love about Kotzen too is he can fucking shred around any player on the fucking planet, but he doesn't.
No,
unless he has to.
Yeah, he really has a lot of Hendrix in him.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of. I always say he's like the White Prince.
Oh yeah, that makes sense to
and
me.
You can't really hear it much on record, but when you see him live, kind of the way he moves and the way his vocals change, because he's like Prince. He never does anything the same twice live.
Oh, I didn't realize he was totally improvising like that because I saw the trio once.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude, it's just fucking insane. I mean, I saw him last year, and it was a great show. I felt like I was an adult at a big person's show, and they did this little acoustic thing in the middle, which was fucking badass. And then he's up there playing the organ, and just
Really?
This last time, same thing, but there was no acoustic thing, but it was different than the live stuff that I'm used to, because like I watched that 2015 live DVD all the fucking time.
Oh yeah,
it's sick, but you see him do it live, and it's the structure's the same, but it's not the same.
I may have to purchase that at some point.
Oh, dude, it's fucking badass.
Should I go to richiekotzen.com and buy it?
You could go to richiekotzen.com and buy it. Scotty makes a good point. He also dresses eclectic like Prince used to.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. I can't remember who was saying the first time I saw him, he was wearing I don't even remember.
It was like a Jedi garb.
Yeah, Jedi garb. And then I was like, what's up with Richie? And everyone he likes to fuck with people.
Yep.
But he was still just unbelievable. Just you could wear anything and have that great a musicianship.
Right. Well, Eric Martin was saying that before Richie was in Mr. Big, that Eric, he was doing some solo acoustic show somewhere, and just a small place. I think it was at the Baked Potato or something like that, just right up the road, tiny little place. And this guy that looked like a bum showed up, and he just had this beard, and Martin's like, what the fuck? Then he looked in his eyes, and he saw those eyes. He's like, oh my God, that's Richie.
Yeah.
And Richie put on a fake beard and dressed up like a bum and went to the show just to fuck with Eric.
That's amazing.
I know. I know. It's like, how often do you hear shit like that?
All the pictures I'd ever seen of Richie, he was always super clean cut, and I think he had short hair for a long time. And then when I saw him on the cruise, he had a beard and his hair was really ratty and stuff. And I was like, wow, man. And he's still just playing his ass off, laying it down.
Yeah, everybody knows how much of a geek I am. I can't stop myself.
That's okay. Do you want me to stop you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm geeking out too, man. It's just when I get on the cruise, that is basically what happens. I don't even give a fuck if I'm in a band that plays on the cruise or not. I'm just I'm going out here to be a music fan and have a good time.
Oh my God, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. Especially for musicians, because we don't get to see these bands.
Yeah.
Especially you guys that are touring and stuff.
Yeah.
You never get to see your friends play. Then all of a sudden you get on a boat and they're all there.
Yeah.
And
you're like, for an hour, you're not my friend anymore. I'm just going to drool over your guitar playing.
Oh, that Kotzen Telecaster is coming with me because Kotzen will be signing the headstock for me.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think so.
I asked him at Soundcheck Live, I'm like, so on the cruise, will you sign the back of my headstock? He's like, yeah, because that'll make it worth more on eBay, won't it? Fucker.
You're not going to sell that thing, though.
Fuck no. I love that goddamn guitar, man. Yeah. How stoked are you for King's X this year, though?
Oh, my God, dude. I haven't seen Ty Tabor play live in a while. That dude is one of my favorite guitar players. Doug Pinnick is probably in my top 5 favorite singers.
Oh, dude's amazing.
That just the way they play together is so just it's a whole thing, that no one else does.
Yeah, well, it's funny, and I didn't realize this. Doug was telling me this because you can't really tell it in Ty's playing, but Ace Frehley is his favorite guitar player.
Ty's, really?
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense why, like, Ty Tabor is one of Dimebag's favorite players, too. Because it's like Ace, Ty, Dime.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
Ace,
I mean,
Ty,
those guys, Dimebag and the Pantera crew, I mean, they were tight with King's X.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you know? Well, I think there was a Texas connection there, too.
Yeah, the Texas connection. I had this one experience one time. My friend Ray Freeman was tour managing for King's X, and he brought us on the bus after the show. And I sat there and listened to Doug Pinnick and Ty Tabor tell stories for like 2 hours. And I'm just like, oh my God, these guys like have done everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, when Doug starts, it's hard to stop him.
Yeah.
Because he just goes.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I love having him on the podcast, because he'll talk about whatever, you know, and just fucking go. And there's no filter. And I love that, too. You know?
Yeah. And that's really what it was, like this unbelievably authentic personality. The guy's been through hell, you know.
Fucking right.
And he's just an amazing soul and super nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not friends with him or anything, but like I just felt like this, you know, a really amazing human being, like rocking his ass off. And he's been in. I mean, he was probably like, he's older than the rest of the guys, and he was like probably.
Dude, he's like 68.
Yeah, exactly. And he still was. I mean, like the last time I saw him was NAMM like 2 years ago, and he's still singing his ass off.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that was at. It was them, and was that them opening for Zach?
Yeah, Zach Sabbath.
Zach Sabbath. That's right. That's right. I was there. It was fucking awesome.
Man, yeah. The King's X being on the cruise is going to be like awesome, because I think we only play once on the cruise, so
that's right, because you guys are playing the pre-party.
Yeah, I get to go watch everybody this time.
That's right, you do.
After our first show.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a short little break, and we'll be right back with more of Brandon Cook from Black and Blue. It is another fucking podcast. Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com. RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Retro Arcade brings Minnesota and surrounding areas arcade games from the days gone by. All of those great games from pizza joints and arcades are available in cocktail units and custom machines. Dozens of favorites from your youth in one machine to complete your game room or man cave. Retro Arcade also sells and services your favorite pinball machines. Find them at facebook.com/80arcade. That's facebook.com/80arcade. Retro Arcade. Your youth is just one click away.
If you need to promote your band or business, or just want to stylize, personalize, or customize your ride, check out vid-decals.com. Want to create and customize your own stickers representing your band, or make your own bumper sticker? Vid Decals can do it. All stickers are printed on quality vinyl and can be placed on any flat surface. Stickers are an affordable way to promote your band or business. Go to vid-decals.com to get started. That's vid-decals.com. vid-decals.com.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tom Arnold. I like fat women and cocaine. And you're listening to Izzy Presley here on another fucking podcast. And I know Izzy from Cocaine Anonymous meetings. I've actually seen him at the meetings with Ace Von Johnson from. I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but Ace has got a bad coke problem, and his sponsor is Josh Todd from. And again, I shouldn't say this out loud, but Josh is his sponsor for Buck Cherry. He's addicted to upskirt porn, and they're both being sponsored by the Eagles. The whole band, the Eagles. Anyways, another fucking podcast right here with Izzy Presley, and call your sponsor. Fucking A.
Oh, yeah, we are back with Brandon Cook of Black and Blue and Appetite for Deception.
Yes, sir.
Deception. Before we get back into him, please check out John Palumbo Design. We love us some John Palumbo here over at Another Effing Podcast. You need a website design, you need a band logo, you need anything, you hit up John Palumbo Design and he will get you taken care of. I love me some John Palumbo. Also make sure you check out A&P Productions Laser Engraving Division. You need something laser engraved, they can do it. Yes, he specializes in firearms. Yeah, you can get your sidearm fucking laser engraved with anything that you want, but he can do anything. He does my roadie packs. Heather Baker, welcome to the show.
Hi, Heather.
I've actually got one roadie pack left, and it's only $29.99 plus $5 shipping and handling inside the continental United States of America. It consists of a flask with the Another Effing Podcast logo. It consists of a dog tag, a Zippo type lighter, and a click LED flashlight thing, all with the Another Effing Podcast logo. Laser engraved by A&P Productions Laser Engraving Division. They are so good, he actually laser engraved a hot dog bun.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I got to see that.
Dude, it's insane. Oh, let me let's see if I can pull it up, see if I can find it. All right.
We're going to do a reaction segment.
We are going to do a reaction segment. That's right, we are. All right. A&P Laser Productions and Laser. Okay. All right. That is it. Their website is aplasers.com, by the way. But they fucking take care of you, man. It's a locally owned, locally operated place. And I like that. He's look, he's doing spatulas.
Dude, you could get a pistol with Ace's face.
I could get a pistol with Ace's. Yeah. See,
oh my Lord.
See?
I want to eat that hot dog bun now.
Right. He laser engraved Best Buns Award on a fucking hot dog bun.
That's awesome.
Oh, I got to show you this too. So another one of the sponsors, which is Rockstar Leatherworks. They do like where the fuck did I put it? I don't have it with me. But they do like leather cuffs and watches and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. He's working on something special for me, and
oh, that's rad.
Isn't it?
Yeah. That's killer.
Yeah, it's fucking badass, man. Fucking kill. He's making me like an Ace Frehley leather band, and it's got Ace's face on it in the makeup.
Ace's face?
Ace face, yeah.
Ace of Base should change
Ace
their
of
name
Base.
to Ace's Face.
Ace's face, absolutely. So yeah, hit up all of those fucking sponsors. Please support them.
Yes.
I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, we're sitting here with Brandon. Oh, Heather actually just sent me a friend request. I don't think I can take any more friends.
I'm Brandon Cook, and I approve Izzy's message.
Yes, there you go. We just got, we were kind of dabbling into the cruise a little bit. So I mean, King's X is obviously going to be on there. Who else are you excited about?
Well, Tony McAlpine's fucking amazing.
That's right. I always forget about these guys that aren't on there all the time.
Gus G's going to be on.
Yeah.
I think Tesla's going to be on. Tesla's always just really great for me because the songs are just so great.
Oh, you know? I know. And have you ever heard them suck live?
No. I've never heard Frank Hannon make a mistake. I don't think I've ever heard any of those guys make a mistake.
I fucking love Frank Hannon.
Yeah, he's an amazing player, man.
And he's a good dude.
Mm-hmm. I haven't met him yet.
Oh, dude, he's amazing. Dude, he's so fucking cool. When we did the last year on the Moody Blues Cruise, Larry let me do the 68 Comeback Special Black Leather sit-down show, the Elvis thing.
Yes, I remember.
And I hit up Mr. Hannon because I knew he's a Elvis geek.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you want to be my Scotty Moore? He's like, absolutely.
That's
so it was
amazing.
him and the guys from Heavy Mellow. That was my band.
That's awesome.
I mean, fucking world-class players all the way
So
around.
Heavy Mellow is his solo project?
No. That's the guys that do the flamenco heavy metal stuff.
Oh, right.
They're on the boat every year, even though they're not on there this year. But
wow.
If you guys are wondering about the Monsters of Rock cruise, most of you guys are cruisers that listen to the show, and I love that. But if you're not, monstersofrockcruise.com. I think it's sold out. There might be a couple cabins left. You can always try to see. Tom Kiefer, Extreme, Queensryche, Saxon, Skid Row, Udo, Kicks, Danger, Y&T. How can you go wrong with fucking
Who's playing
Y&T?
guitar in Danger now? Is that
No idea.
It's okay.
No clue.
It's not Steve Brown.
It might be. Steve Brown plays with everybody.
Yeah, he
does. And he's a great guy, and he's a great fucking guitar
He was
player.
playing with Eric Martin a couple months ago, right?
Yeah. Kotzen, DAD, King's X, Pat Travers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Nelson. The Nelson twins are back.
Choir Boys.
Pink Cream 69, The Wild Hearts, Rose Tattoo, which is going to be fucking cool. Eclipse, Jeff Scott Soto, Faster fucking Pussycat, of course. The Hosers from up north, The Killer Dwarfs.
Love those guys.
How can you not? Brighton Rock, Vane. We just did this live broadcast at the Grafton for the Monsters of Rock Radio. No affiliation with the cruise. It's a satellite station that I do mornings on. And Davey Vane came over before their show at the Whiskey.
Oh, that was like Friday night, right?
Yeah, the night before you guys played with them up in Vegas. Oh, this is a great fucking scrap.
Yeah, they played great, man. I got to talk with their guitar players. They play like they have these old ass Charvel guitars that are made by Grover Jackson. I have a Grover Jackson made guitar, and we were just like geeking out on Grover guitars. They're super nice guys.
That's awesome. Let's say who else? Mike Tramp, John Karabi, of course. The Bullet Boys, Black and Blue, Tora. Oh my God, Black and Blue's on the cruise.
Who's that Black and Blue band? Never heard of those guys.
I don't know. Something with Tommy Thayer or something. I don't know. Yeah. Tora, Tough. So we get to make fun of Stevie Rochelle, wear Vikings jerseys.
Or he'll get to make fun of us.
And he will. Everybody bring a Minnesota Vikings jersey and wear it to all the Tough shows because he is a Green Bay Packers fan.
Yeah.
He's a cheesehead. Lies, Deceit, and Treachery, Jet Boy, Mitch Malloy, Michael Grant and the Assassins, and Femme Fatale. Yes, and the Return of the Shredders, Gus G, Tony McAlpine, first timer, Joel Hoekstra, and Neil Zaza.
Joel Hoekstra's the record that came out at the beginning of 2017. That fucking record is badass.
My God, it is.
Yeah, I just was really impressed with that album. Such pop, like all the songs. First of all, they had Vinny on drums, and I can't remember who played bass. Most of it was Joel, I think. But like, dude, the songs were great. The singing was great. Russ Allen was on it, and Jeff Scott Soto. Fuck, so good.
Soto does not suck.
No, he never sucks.
No, I'm not even going to say it. No, I'll tell you off the air. And it's not anything bad. It's not a joker, actually.
Okay.
It's actually cool. But I can't say it on the air. I don't want to give anything away.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Hi, Jeff. We won't give anything away.
Absolutely not, because it's not. And plus, it's not set in stone yet either. It all depends on his schedule on the boat. But Rihanna says, delete PK. Just kidding.
Delete PK. No, we're not deleting anything, Rihanna. Anything that you writ that's embarrassing, it's staying.
No, I don't know. Delete PK. I don't.
PK is Patrick Kennison.
Oh, yeah, it is Patrick Kennison, actually. That's right. She's a big Patrick Kennison fan.
Yes, she is.
That's right. She actually, she's in South Dakota. She drove to
Sioux Falls.
She drove to St. Cloud when we played up there with Ack.
Oh, really?
She fucking road tripped, and she had to work the next morning.
Wow. The furthest road trip she ever did for Black and Blue was she drove with the Sandys and Heather Baker to Denver, Colorado from Sioux Falls.
Sandys. The Sandys would never do that for Black and Blue.
Never.
Nothing. Never.
Those guys have gone to the mat for Black and Blue so many times. I love those people. They're just so embedded in my heart.
Oh, dude,
I love those guys.
They are hardcore. There's
Yes,
no
they
doubt
are.
about it. And Minnesota folks, we love those guys. Love those guys. And Brian's a big wrestling geek. It's one of the reasons we get along.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you something. Sitting here with Brandon Cook of Black and Blue, yeah! We're talking about the Monsters of Rock cruise, yeah! We're talking about King's X and Rich Kotzen, yeah!
That's a damn good impression.
Thank you very much. I can do some. I'm not great. I have like a large vocabulary of impressions, but they're not all like awesome. They're like, it's like, it's like, dude, there was Jack Daniels and cocaine. That's my Sebastian Bach.
That's pretty good. I wasn't aware of it, and then you said the name, and I was like, okay, that's Sebastian. That's totally true.
Okay, no, Rihanna, a PK fan, never laugh out loud. You all need to come back to the Midwest.
Black and Blue. Yes, we need to.
She said ACK, Black and Blue, and Heaven Below all in one bill.
I'd be into that.
I would be into that too. Can you make us get paid and get us all flown out there?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Put us up and make sure we all get paid, because I'd like that. And please have it in the summertime, because I refuse to go up there in the wintertime unless it's for a funeral.
Yeah, let's make it be in the summertime.
In the summertime. See, the problem with playing up there in Minnesota in the summertime, though, is like everybody's gone to the fucking cabin on the weekends. Yeah.
They're all up in the last time. Okay, I had this trip out with Appetite for Deception one time, and we played in Moorhead, and we were like, so is everybody like, is anybody going to play? I mean, they're going to come out tonight, and they're like, no, they're all up in Fargo fishing, And I was like, oh, okay. All right, thanks. I was waiting for that kind of response, like anticipating something like that, and it was exactly like I thought it would be.
And, I mean, that makes sense as to why all these bands tour up there in the wintertime.
Yeah.
It's like, what? But why would you want to do that to yourself? Because it's fucking cold. But that's when fucking people are around.
The last time we played in Minnesota was 2014 in April, and it was cold as shit. It was really cold, but I liked it.
So it was like, what, 30?
Well, like for the time period, it was like April or May, and it was like in 40s and 50s.
Yeah, that's nippy.
I wasn't expecting it to be so cold in May.
Right. How long have you been doing the GNR tribute?
I joined that band 2 weeks before my daughter was born, 13 years ago.
Holy shit.
And so I still wear the wig, and it's still a blast, like we played a gig. We do casinos and like festivals and stuff like that, and the band is really, really good. They just they're the reason that I was able to play in a band like Black and Blue. Of course I work really hard and do my own thing and practice and stuff, but like those guys have a higher minded thing about shows. Like we put together like stage production and like all the things that I don't think about when I'm working on music.
Right.
It was like a real team effort. Like when we go to do like, we'll do like a full on Use Your Illusion 7. Actually, we had 11 pieces one time.
Wow.
Yeah, we did 2 keyboard players. We had a a Teddy Andriadis, and we had who's the other keyboard player? I'm spacing on his name. Hookers and Blow guy.
Oh, Dizzy.
Dizzy Reed. We had a Dizzy Reed, and we had 2 background singers and a sax player. It was amazing. I got to be the musical director for that, and I had to put all that stuff together.
How was that?
Dude, it was the most fun experience I've ever had, like playing music live. I got to be like a real music director. I felt like, Steve Ferlazzo or something one time. But, the guys all just totally rocked. Everybody came out and just, I got to arrange vocal parts and stuff like that. So it really like, and I've done that some before, but like not telling people outside of the band what to do. And then handing them a check. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. Well, I mean, like an ACK, I let those guys decide what they're going to do with the backup vocals. Because
cheers, baby.
Cheers. Scotty, racist. Last one, I promise, because I know you have to play.
Yep, I do. But they just really like to take it to that high level, and we got to do a show on TV called the World's Greatest Tribute Bands down at the Whiskey.
Oh, that's right.
We'd already been playing together for like 11 years at the time. But we just even took it up another notch. It was like, okay, we're gonna rehearse, like do real rehearsals and get shit dialed. And man, it was really fun.
Were you before you joined the band? How did you feel about tribute bands?
Tribute bands, they've always been sort of like, because I don't know, I've always kind of looked at entertainment as entertainment. There was this quote from Devin Townsend that's like, it's just entertainment, folks, and like, when I heard that on his record, I was like, okay, Devin Townsend is literally one of the greatest musicians on the planet. And he still categorizes himself as just entertainment. He's got integrity and fucking amazing writing and great guitar playing and some of the best musicians in the business, like RVP playing drums. That guy's fucking, Gene Hoglan and all these guys, and he just categorizes himself as just entertainment. And it changed the way I looked at music. So, like, playing in a tribute band was just as valid as, like, playing on Broadway, just as valid as, playing at Legends Vegas or something like that, or playing in Black and Blue or anything. All of it's valid to me. Like, it's expression and something to like, help entertain people and, bring their joy to people's lives. And if I could do that wearing a wig, it just seemed like a hoot to me. I didn't join one because I had art that I wanted to get out. I wanted to play it as high level as possible. And then when I was like trying out for bands that I really wanted to be in, I actually auditioned for a couple of different bands that were really amazing. I sort of forced my way into a couple of things, and I auditioned for Marty Friedman's band at one point.
Oh, wow.
That guy taught me so many amazing lessons. And I told him, I was like, if I come to Japan and audition for your band, he's like, I don't know, man. I'm working on a couple different guys, and I can't make any promises because I haven't heard you play. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going to Japan anyway because my family was over there. My ex-wife's family was living in Japan. So those lessons that I learned from him all sort of led me to my next musical experience that sort of pushed things up. I got to jam with Metallica.
Holy shit! How the fuck did that happen?
It was a radio contest that I won a radio contest to jam with Metallica, and they completely like played one with me in its entirety. And I actually harmonized Kirk's solo, all, like the main guitar solo.
Yeah.
So that's on YouTube and like been got like a viral video and shit. But so that experience sort of led me to play with Chris Caffrey from Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and he saw that video and he was like, okay, I think I'll give you a shot at maybe auditioning. And I went and I played with Chris for about, I think I did 3 shows with him, and it's just, I was having a kid and he wanted somebody that like was really dedicated to music, and he was scared that something was going to happen with my wife. He was really trying to be like as kind to me as possible, but realizing he had shit to do.
Yeah.
He didn't
business.
He didn't want to be in the middle of Europe and have my wife get sick or something. And so, he was being empathetic to me, but I didn't take it that way. And I was just like, fuck this, man. I have this shit planned out, but at the same time, he's got business to take care of.
Exactly.
So, I just kind of went, my hands are free of this. And I went home and had my kid, and I was in Chicago, Illinois. And I called my friend, his name's Jeff Johnson, and I'll never forget this phone call. I said, I need a band, I need something that makes money, and I need it now. And he goes, I got this Guns N' Roses tribute band that I'm trying out for on Thursday. Can you be there? And it was like Monday, and I had to learn 5 Guns N' Roses songs for the audition, and I wasn't home yet. So, and that was before iTunes was like a thing and everything, so I couldn't like buy the record and listen to it. And I didn't even listen to it.
Whoa. How did you not own Appetite for Destruction?
That's a good question. Do you remember that whole thing I was saying about like prog metal snobs and jazz and stuff like that? Yeah. Well, I had bought into that quite a bit, but at that point I was sort of like, I looked at it sort of as like, it's a hoot. I'll put on a wig and like play Halloween, that's fine. And I didn't, I was really embarrassed because Chris had let me go, because he needed to go do his gig.
Yeah.
And they hired Ira Black. And I saw a video of Ira Black, and I was like, okay, that's a new level to aspire to, because he just has this amazing intensity.
Ira Black is fucking amazing.
Ira Black's fucking badass.
I love Ira Black.
And yeah, super cool dude too. I mean, just
absolutely.
One of the nicest people I've ever met in the LA scene, you know. And so I went and started playing with these Guns N' Roses guys, and immediately we clicked. It was just like the bass player at the time was just like, I've never seen a guitar player actually like be a lead guitar player and lead the band like that. And I was like, okay. Sounds like a fit to me.
Yeah, right.
And I learned like I had learned 5 Guns N' Roses songs in 3 days, you know, pretty much note for note. And then all my like jazz learning skills came into play, and we learned like 3.5 hours of Guns N' Roses stuff, you know, like deep cuts, like Dead Horse and, you know, Don't Damn Me, and like we did Bad Obsession one time. You know, we used to play 3.5 hours of Guns N' Roses songs with no repeats.
That's, for a tribute show, that's a little bit too much.
No breaks.
Wow.
No breaks. We played with heavy-ass Les Pauls all night long through drinking guitar players and falling down bass players. I mean, like, you know, like, it was just ridiculous.
Well, let me ask you this. You know, being the snobby prog geek that you said you were, diving into that record... I mean, what were your thoughts as you were diving into it?
Appetite for Destruction was a total revelation for me, because like in that prog jazz world, and they look at rock and roll as a little bit, I mean, some guys, you know, not all of them, of course. Like,
yeah.
You know, like some guys they just hate rock and roll for some reason. It's music of my youth, and I don't identify with that anymore. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But, you know, when I dug into Appetite for Destruction, I was feeling Charlie Parker. I was feeling Miles Davis. I was feeling Coltrane, and like that bluesy element of technical guitar playing, because like the way Slash plays guitar isn't like, I mean, it's got Ace Frehley and, you know, Eddie Van Halen and stuff like that in it, but like he's got deep history of music. Like when I listen or play Slash's guitar solos, like he has like the entire history of rock and roll guitar in his playing. You know, it's from Chuck Berry, and like, you know, he'll even play like country-ish kind of licks.
Yeah.
That really just like, they're fun. They're not like, oh God, I played this technical, you know, super Locrian scale here and da-da-da. It's like, I don't care what scale he's playing. It's musical, and you want to hear it again.
Yeah.
And that's where I sort of started making the change. And I was playing the guitar solos note for note, and then my friend Michael, who's like, his name's Michael Killian. He's the Izzy in the band. And he's a lot like Alex Kane, where he's like super feel level guitar player and just rock and roll to the fucking core. I love Michael. He's one of my best friends, and he schooled the shit out of me. And he always tells me, he's like, I'm not a very good guitar player, and blah, blah, blah. And he, you know, he doesn't have chops like a lead guitarist does.
Yeah.
But he knows the soul of music, and he schooled me on the Slash solo one time. He's just like, can you play that with more feel, man? And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just played the shit out of that solo. And he's like, yeah, I know you played all the notes right, but can you play it like with feel, like with vibing, And I'm just like, I got angry, and I was like, fuck you, dude. And I like left the room and like kind of chilled out in a second. And I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? He's right. I'm playing that like a prog thing. I'm playing it like John Petrucci when I play it. And like, I went and sat with that solo and figured out all the swings of Slash's lick, and like tried to figure out how to get more of that vibe in my playing. And you know, I already like love like Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that, but like I love Jimmy Page, and like I've taught like the solo for Heartbreaker to people and stuff like that, you know, and that's a sloppy ass solo.
Yeah.
But it's great. And
dude, it's the same with Ace Frehley. It's sloppy.
Yes.
But Gene Simmons always said it best. You don't play with your hands, you play with your dick.
Yeah. Yeah, like the combination of dick and heart at the same time, that's my goal, you know, to like get as much passion into it as I possibly can. And my friend Michael already had that shit down. He didn't study music in school, and he didn't have like the money to get a college degree and stuff like that, but he's got fucking guts. And he made me have that. And I'm like, just like, okay, now this is where we go from. And I've had the guys bust my balls a little bit about that along the way. But
of course,
if they hadn't busted my balls, like getting into Black and Blue, like that's what I mean. Like that Guns N' Roses experience, like learning all those songs and digging into Appetite for Destruction and like learning every Chuck Berry lick in the like at the very, the end of Think About You, where they has that he's just playing like basically like Chuck Berry licks all over the end of it.
Yeah.
That shit is awesome. And I never got to play that stuff in jazz school, because if you play that, they would be like, don't play that crap, play this. But I like that stuff. I grew up with Chuck Berry, and like my parents.
Yeah, I mean,
who
hasn't?
Yeah, my parents were all into rock and roll. I listened to Journey and Toto and Kiss and all that stuff. That was like I had one of my first records was Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits, and that was my first experience. And I should say Dynasty.
Dynasty.
I love that fucking album, man.
And you didn't know Hard Times was on it?
I didn't. My copy didn't have Hard Times on it, so I never heard that song.
What?
I don't know.
I think you're just having a brain fart.
I may be.
Yeah, you are. You
Okay.
are. Well, let me ask you this: getting that revelation with the Guns N' Roses about playing with your dick and not fucking just worrying about being note for note.
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring that into learning the Black and Blue stuff, or do you feel like you have to play that stuff note for note?
I do play a lot of those solos note for note just because I really like them.
There you go.
Like sometimes it's a respect thing, but it's not respect to Tommy Thayer. It's more, I mean, I respect him very immensely, but I respect the fans. To me, it's like, this band has such deep history. I mean, I don't really have like a record recording history. It's like when Marty Friedman got hired to play in Megadeth, he already had like 5 records out, on a different level. Or like when Sammy Hagar joined Van Halen, he already had he was a multi-millionaire. He didn't have to play David Lee Roth songs. He wanted to write his own shit. Mm-hmm. So I don't have that history. So when I come into this, I'm like, okay, if I'm watching a replacement guy, what do I want from him? I want him to play the solos right, especially if it's a player I really respect. And, if it's somebody replaced Nuno in Extreme and they didn't play the fucking solos right, I'd be like, Gary, smack that motherfucker, make him play the parts right. But nobody replaced Nuno.
No, not at all. It's like replacing Eddie. You don't.
Yeah, you can't. So, but Tommy Thayer, he left the band on good terms. It's not like, they're like, fuck him, play your own solos. They're like, and Patrick's actually been pretty cool about like, like, hey, play whatever you want. And I'm just like, I made my own decision on this. I want to play this right. Because the fans really I think fans really like it when they hear the solos the right way. And that, Chains Around Heaven is like 30-something years old. And they want to hear that shit. So
yeah.
So I just play it. And I put my own feel to it, but I like playing it the note for note way because it just makes me stay focused.
Do you get people yelling, "You're not Tommy. You're not Tommy"? Do you have to deal with that at all?
I've seen some comments. I've had, when Sean left the band, it was not a pretty time in the group, and there was drama.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say about that. But there was some comments about me that were being made that were like, oh, he thinks he's this and he thinks he's that. But really, they may have been right on some level, but I'll just say that I can only be me. And I can only pay respect to the people that really put like years and years and years of their life into building this brand, and not more than just a brand, but like a legacy,
Yeah.
And I respect that legacy immensely. Jamie St. James is a fucking great songwriter, and Pete Holmes is like a masterful drummer that's played with fucking everybody. He's played with Ian Gillan, and and he played the way those guys wanted him to play. Fucking Michael Schenker comes in and says, play it like this, and he goes, okay. So when Pete tells me to play it like this, I go, that's what you did. So fuck yeah, I'm going to do it. I respect Pete just immensely. He's one of the greatest musicians I've ever played with.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way. It's like, would you rather see the band go away, or would you rather see them continue and have somebody fill in a spot? It's like Tommy and Kiss.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Tommy and Kiss. I have a problem with him wearing Ace's makeup, but that's not my decision.
Right.
And I know why they do it, because that's the faces
Right.
that they need to sell. And as much as I can bitch about it, as much as you could bitch about it, you get that phone call. What are you going to say? You're going to say, Gene, where do I go to get fitted for my spacesuit?
That's what I would say. I'd be like, can I use this makeup or that makeup? And Gene goes, don't use either. Use what we have. It'll be here when you get here.
Exactly.
And I go, done. You know, I'm sure that's what Phil and Ryan and Jeremy said when Ace called them and said, hey, Ack, be here when I tell you to.
Yeah.
And they just went like, hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I would do.
Absolutely. You know? Well, I know you got to run, so you have to get down to the whiskey. Because we're rolling up on 9 o'clock. What time do you go on?
I'm at like midnight or something.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. I mean, I got a few minutes. If you're cool. If you got like commercials to do or whatever.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. It might help if I can spell my password. There we go. Yeah, I just didn't want to keep you too long. I didn't know what kind of time frame you were on. So.
I'll appreciate the respect, sir.
Well, hey, all right. Hey, you know, what can I say? What can I do? So what else are you doing besides Black and Blue and the Guns N' Roses tribute? You said you have some original stuff you're working on?
Well, I do. And the first one that I want to talk about is the Loyal Order. We have a video coming out really soon.
Okay.
We have a distribution company we're working with called Von Artists, that's Monty Von Struck and Larry Touring. They're helping us get onto a distribution center called The Orchard, and so our videos and songs will be up for there. And we're releasing a song called "Ready for Dead" very soon with a video, and it's going to be available, I think, worldwide. And we're also releasing it in conjunction with EMP Music Group, which is David Ellison's label.
Oh, nice.
We're not signed to them, but
he's helping.
Yeah, we're working with them to get some more spread on the song. And the song's written by Rob Dacre. He's our producer, and he's a fucking amazing songwriter and producer. And me and Jeff sort of took his song and like put a little spin on it the way we play in the Loyal Order, which is, it's kind of like, if I could describe the music, it's like kind of disturbed. I don't know. It's melodic and poppy. You know, I'm gonna use some bad words here. I'm gonna say like Shinedown and Nickelback, because there's like,
I have no problem with Shinedown. And look, I mean, although I'm not a Nickelback fan, it's just like Greta Van Fleet. They hate makes them more popular.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah,
I fucking love them.
I'm not a fan of them, but I get why people like them. They want something new in that vein of music, and it's just like bands.
Have you listened to the new record though?
I've heard a couple of tunes, but not the whole thing.
Dude, the record's sick, man.
Okay.
If you just, once you get past they sound like Led Zeppelin, and listen to them.
Yeah.
Good fucking songs.
Okay. I'll give it a shot based on your recommendation.
There you go.
So we kind of keep that pop mentality when we write songs, because as a singer, Jeff has a fucking lot of integrity about making sure the melody is memorable. And that's one of the things I like about working with Jeff. It makes me change my riffs, and I don't like that necessarily. But at the same time, it's like it's all in the service of the tune. You know, it's like if the riff is more powerful than the vocal, fine, great. But like we have to like have the synergy of the music and the lyrics and the melody and the production and all that stuff. And our producer Rob is just kicking our ass to make our songs better and stuff and stuff. There was this interview that Phil Schaus put out. He was like, I said things and stuff a lot in this interview. It cracked me up. But yeah, things and stuff like that. Our producer Rob Dacre just really kicked our ass and, you know, like made sure that, you know, we take everything as high as possible level all the time. And, you know, I take the Black and Blue and I take the Marty Friedman influence and the Chris Caffrey influence and all those guys. And it's like the reminder is strive, keep pounding, keep going higher, as high level shit as you can make, do it. And that's what the Loyal Order is. So, you know, we have some really great musicians playing on it, local to Portland. Andrew Green playing drums, a guy named Joe Mangus playing drums, and this guy named Dane Ryan plays bass on some of the tracks. I play bass on one track, and Buhner plays bass on a whole bunch of it. Jeff Buhner, one of my best friends and co-songwriter for the band, and I play all the guitars, and Dacre plays some like ear candy kind of guitars. We actually have Dan fucking Reed singing on one of our songs. That guy sings his ass off. He's so amazing.
Is that somebody that people should know? Because I
Yes.
don't know the name.
Dan Reed Network. If you don't know that band, go check them out. They're one of the swingingest, grooviest bands on the planet. And actually, Dan Reed and Rob Dacre both play in that Dan Reed Network. And we had Dan Pred, their drummer, film our video for Ready for Dead. And he's done work with Kiss and a whole bunch of different kind of people.
right.
Like, he's one of the best videographers in Portland, Oregon. So we
Nice.
hired a really great guy. And the other project I have working on right now, we're going to release a song for Christmas time, based on a Christmas character from Germany called Krampus. And it's kind of a horror Christmas song.
All right.
So it's got like, I was out when we were talking about film, like doing the song. I had been watching Ira play with fucking Morbid Angel. I Am Morbid, and I'm just like, yeah, this has got to be in that Christmas song.
That's fucking awesome.
So Morbid Metamorphosis put out an album last Christmas that had a Christmas type song on it. What's the one? It's from My Favorite Things. That's the name of the tune. My Favorite Things. These are a few of my favorite things.
Yeah.
We did metal arrangements of all these classic pop songs, like classic jazz tunes, and like we did "Hit the Road Jack" by Ray Charles as a hard rock song, sort of like a tribute to Guns N' Roses with Ray Charles mixed in, and there's some kind of Zeppelin-ish kind of stuff in there. But we were kind of trying to make this record that had all these elements of like classic hard rock and metal with classic jazz lyrics. We completely canned all the music part of the jazz songs and used these elements of jazz and hard rock at the same time. Because that's where the jazz history came in for me, and we put out this record that ended up being really cool. I was kind of like, wow, this will be fun. And it ended up just being like, we worked with a guy named Jamie Durr who's mixed Chickenfoot and Sammy Hagar's last record.
Damn.
And the producer of the album's named Andy Korn. He played for like 10 years with Ronnie Spector.
Holy shit!
So and the lead singer of the group's his name's Larry Smith. He's a local Portland guy, and we just put a ton of effort in. It put like 2.5 years into recording it, just because it was all conceptual. We were like, oh, what are we gonna do with this? No one's ever done this before.
Right.
And so we like figured out how to make this record work, and it turned out really well. That's available on CD Baby and like iTunes and all that stuff. So that's my release information for the podcast, and I hope people go out and buy it because it's amazing stuff.
We should get some comments. Rihanna says, "I hate Minnesota traffic. I'll take Denver any day. I'm not friends with any cool promoters around here, but I will see what I can do regarding AC, Black and Blue,
and Heaven
Below."
I just want to say something about Patrick Kennison. That guy's a fucking shredding ass guitar player.
Yes, he is.
And it would be awesome to jam with him at some point.
You know why? He's done a couple of gigs with AC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
rad.
I had to talk him out of bringing his Vinnie Vincent Flying V.
The Vinnie Vincent guitar, he has one of those?
I think yeah, he does, because
like the double, like
on the Kiss cruise, he dressed up as Vinnie in full regalia with the guitar.
So he had like
he had the Ankh. Yeah.
Oh, the Ankh. Yeah, right.
Because he's a Vinnie head.
Really? Well, I can tell he's faster than shit.
Right.
It was I was watching him at your jam the very first time I ever seen him play. I was just like, dude, that guy fucking shreds.
Oh, I know. Heather says, it wasn't too cold, you big sissy. Always too cold up in the upper Midwest. Scotty says, damn it, again, you know how hard it is trying to get ready for bed when you have to do a shot, laugh out loud. And he has a question, but you know what? Should we make Scotty drink one more time?
Yeah. I won't be shooting at the moment.
All right. Well, I'll be joining you, Scotty.
Can I say the word?
Yes. Scotty, just get that shot glass out and get it poured right now because it's coming.
Izzy is now pouring a glass of Jack Daniels. You should have Jack Daniels be one of your sponsors, dude. I'm telling you.
Dude, I would take that fucking money any day, especially right now. Izzy Presley at yahoo.com is your PayPal. Send me money. I need it now.
They do Venmo, I think.
Izzy Presley on Venmo. Izzy Presley at yahoo.com and Venmo. It all works. Okay, my shot glass is ready. So, Scotty, are you ready?
Racist!
Uh-oh. He's got to get out of bed, you pussy. All right, well, I'll do the shot without you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I love my sweet depression
So
juice.
what did Rihanna Menace do? She make smileys there?
She made laughing smileys, yes.
Okay.
Scotty also did ask, is there any bands that you're listening to now that we should know about?
Listening to. Let's see. Listening to. There's a really great band out of Portland, Oregon called Metz Ryan Collins. Those guys do like kind of stoner rock stuff. They wrote this song called Oregon that's really cool. They have a video out for it, and it's really cool. I haven't been listening to much new music, like lately. I haven't listened to a lot of pop radio because my kid listens to pop radio.
Oh, you got to get that kid formed and molded.
Well, she actually likes, her favorite shit is Guns N' Roses.
All right,
Like-
all right. We'll give her that.
And she likes Bon Jovi and AC/DC and stuff like that. But like when she turns on the radio, she just turns it to the pop station. I'm just like, whatever, But man, I'm trying to think of like what new stuff I've been listening to lately. I've been like learning so many songs because I've been gigging a lot lately.
Which is good.
I Am Morbid. If you want to check out some amazing death metal, go watch the original singer of Morbid Angel with Ira Black and Bill Hudson. They fucking shred. I saw them just a few months ago, and that was great.
Speaking of fucking metal, you said that you're going to be on the Mega Cruise. You're going on the Mega Cruise.
That's right. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going, and I'm gonna be a fan. I'll bring my guitar if I can, but
right. Well, I'm gonna talk to Larry. We're gonna make a cruiser jam happen on that thing, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna need your help because I can't play that shit.
I have a request. I'm gonna pray right now. Shall we pray? Pray to the gods of the Monsters of Rock cruise that Larry allows me to do a 1 hour set of Megadeth songs as a singer and guitar player. No, I'm like, dude, I know tons of Megadeth songs, and I've done tributes to Megadeth in the past, and it would be fucking awesome to do that.
Yeah, but on the Megadeth cruise, would you want to play Megadeth songs in a jam, or would you want to do other shit in that genre?
I know Slayer songs, I know Metallica songs, I know Maiden songs, I know Black Sabbath songs. Anything you want me to play on that fucking cruise, I'll play.
There will be no Maiden, and I have my reasons.
What's your reason?
I'm not going to talk about it on the air.
All right, cool.
But I'm going to say this. There is Breasted American.
Huh. Breasted American?
Breasted American, yeah.
By the way, I also play with a Slayer tribute band called Live Undead.
You're in a Slayer fucking tribute band?
Yes.
I did not know. How often do you play?
I've done 2 gigs with them in the last 2 months.
And ratio guys to girls.
There was lots of chicks.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The girls like Slayer in Portland.
I fucking dig that. Bruce, hey, welcome to the show. Nice of you to drop by so fucking late into the show. I heard there's this new law that it just went on the books internationally. It's all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
That if Slayer comes on the radio, it is now illegal to change the channel or turn it down.
I think that's a brilliant law, and I think the people in Washington, D.C. need to sign that soon.
Oh, no. It's international.
It's international.
International. Every country in the world, if Slayer comes on the radio, you are not allowed to change it. You can only turn it up. You cannot turn it down.
It is sanctioned by the United Nations and NATO.
It is.
Okay, I'm in.
It is.
Right.
It is.
I think that's truth. If you hear Angel of Death on the radio, Auschwitz, the meaning of pain, the way that I want you to die, crank that shit.
We play on the Monsters of Rock radio. We do obviously we play South of Heaven. We play Raining Blood. I think we play War Ensemble.
Oh yes.
And there's another one that we play too. And but then we'll go right after that and play fucking like a live Bon Jovi song.
Yes. If I heard War Ensemble and freaking like Never Say Goodbye back to back, I would be really excited.
Yeah.
Like I have. Can I tell a story?
Please do. That's why we're here.
War Ensemble. I played that a couple weeks ago, and we played it so fast. It was just ridiculous, and I'm just like, I can't believe my hand's keeping up with this, and my headbanging was keeping up with this, and I'm just like, yes, I love it, man. That song is so ridiculously fast, and the guy that plays on the other side of the stage from me, Tyler Loney, he's just shredding. He's like 27 years old or some shit, and he's just like, whatever, dude. And I'm 43, just hanging on. Not really hanging on for dear life, but I'm just like, I'm pounding it as hard as I can. And he's just like,
yeah, but so he's obviously not feeling it like you are.
He just doesn't need to. He's a very talented guitar player. That's his thing. That's fun for him to just play that fast, and it's fun for me, and I'm feeling it too. But it's just like watching him play is just different.
But there's got to be something just inside you when you're playing Slayer songs live.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, fuck yeah.
Any demon that you might have, like a couple of years ago, I played with that band. Like that was one of my focused bands. It was right before I joined Black and Blue, and we played just viciously. I mean, like as vicious as I've ever played, I've played with that band. And one time I came off stage, and I was, you know the term seething? You know, like, have you ever been that way where you're just like, you're so fucking pissed that your whole body is just convulsing with anger? I came off stage, and that's what my body was doing. It was just like, and I couldn't, it took me like 20 minutes to just like settle down.
Just to calm down, yeah.
Yeah, because it's so impassioned. Like everything about that lyric is about just like, it's like the 2-minute Hate from 1984. It's just, except you get to play 90 minutes of Slayer shit at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And then you go watch Gary Holt, like, and he's just like, this is amazing. And he's smiling the whole time.
Like there's no crying in baseball, there's no smiling in rock and roll.
You have to go the gruff, like,
There's no smiling in heavy metal music.
The Kerry King face, right? Yeah, and oh man, it just I love watching Gary Holt do that because he's like a serial killer. He's just like having fun, like murdering the audience. You know, he was always like that in Exodus too. He just like like the funnest guy on stage, just like killing it.
It's funny. Speaking of serial killers, I was watching this. I love like murder stuff and. Like the First 48 and Forensic Files. I just get glued to the fucking TV when that shit's on, right?
Yeah.
And I was watching this thing about Ted Bundy.
Oh, so this is real life stuff.
This is real life stuff.
Okay.
And I'm watching this thing about Ted Bundy, and like they're showing pictures of all these girls that he like fucking killed, right?
Yeah.
And all I can think is that Ted Bundy had great taste in women. Except for the whole raping and murdering part.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because they were all hot.
Why, though? Why?
Because he was mentally fucking deranged.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can say I respect about him is when he got convicted, he requested the death penalty.
Really?
Yeah.
So he knew.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Man, that's just weird to me.
Oh, I know.
Thinking about like what goes through someone's mind, like what could possibly like have happened to them that led them down that path.
Well, it doesn't go through it the way it seems, because obviously I'm not on that path that we know of. Yeah. Oh wait, let's get a Pat Fontaine laugh for that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pat Fontaine. It turns into like a drug. And like even like when he was on the run and he escaped from prison, he went straight back to it.
Really? Straight back to
what he was doing.
Oh wow. That's nuts, man. That's beyond nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't know that. I just thought it was all like in Fort Lauderdale in Florida where he did all this shit. I didn't know it was in Washington and it was in Portland and in Oregon.
Oh, he was a traveler.
Yeah, well, that's where it all started.
Uh-huh.
And then he escaped from prison, and he went to Florida, and that's where he jumped into the sorority house and killed all those fucking broads.
Oh, wow.
And after that is when he got caught.
Wow. Yeah, so kill a bunch of white women and you get caught.
Yes. 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 But I mean, the first 48 is kind of wrecking that theory because they show everybody that gets caught.
Wow.
You know?
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I remember reading a bunch of like the what was the guy, the Zodiac Killer? I remember reading about that guy. His thing was just like he liked doing things. It seemed like he liked doing things that they couldn't catch him for. He just liked being able to not get caught.
Yeah.
And it was like he would leave clues and like all this stuff to just like, come on, catch me. It was almost like he's taunting them.
Yeah, it was a game.
Yeah, and just to make something like that a game, and like that's what I mean. Like for me, I could never even like. I don't even play games like that with anything, you know. Like
right.
And I'm really like, if I want something, I'll either tell you that I want it, or I'll even tell you that I'm just nervous about asking for it. You know, that's kind of my thing, you know. But like to be that cagey and that just warped inside, maybe even from birth, it's just like.
It's like when you go to like one of these horror movies and then all of a sudden you hear behind you some guy going, I remember when I cut off a head. And you're just like, am I in your way?
You go, what? Yeah, let me get out of here.
Yeah. It's a Bill Hicks bit. I like stealing jokes, by the way. But at least I admit that they're stolen. I don't take them as mine.
I steal riffs, but you'll never know it.
I steal riffs, and you do know it.
Well, I steal riffs in my tribute bands all the time.
Absolutely.
But like all the other ones that I steal, like I do my best to conceal them.
Yeah,
under layers
you
and layers of changing.
I'm starting this new band. It's like really southern rock based.
Nice.
Mixed with like Stevie Ray, and I mean, fucking Skynyrd is retiring. I mean, Blackberry Smoke is out there, and I have a feeling that the southern rock thing is going to make a turnaround, a comeback. You know.
Well, Blackberry Smoke, I actually played a gig at in Sturgis, sort of on an opposite stage from them. We walked off our gig like, oh, who's this Blackberry Smoke band? You know, and we walked out and we were just totally floored.
Oh, dude, they're fucking amazing.
And I found out they were on Earache Records for a while. It's just like a grindcore metal label, you know? Like, and I was like, why the fuck are they on Earache Records? And it's because they're just badass.
Yeah,
Blackberry Smoke
exactly.
is just badass. But,
exactly.
yeah.
But like the song that I'm writing, it's basically ripped off from fucking Pat Travers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, snorting whiskey and drinking cocaine.
That's the basis for the tune.
Well, that's not the basis, but it kind of sounds like that. It's like, you know, drank too much whiskey and it was all because of you. Drank too much whiskey is all because of you. That cocaine in the morning, or when I woke up in the morning, that cocaine was my fuel.
That's your lyric?
Yeah.
Cool. I gotta hear this tune.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Can you do it live here on this?
No. No. That's why I'm working with talented musicians.
Yeah.
Because I can just like play the rhythm shit and not have to fucking worry about it. But we're doing like 3 guitars, keyboards, you know, fucking the whole 9 yards. And one of my guitar players has a publishing deal.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
So what's the name of this band?
We don't have one yet.
You don't have one? Can you say the member lineup?
I can say that.
I'm interviewing you now, Lizzie.
No. I can say that the guitar player that I'm working with, his name is Joe Agello, and he plays with Robert Thicke. Is it Robert? Alan Thicke was the dad. Robert, is it Robert Thicke?
Robin Thicke is
Robin.
Who did Blurred Lines? That guy? Yeah. Oh, he plays with him. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Joe's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Steve motherfucking Wilson is going to play drums for us. Dude's a fucking monster. Did you see the video of Tank that we did on Halloween? The Life, Sex, and Death?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah, that's the drummer on that.
You got to play with Alex.
I got to play a Life, Sex, and Death song with Alex fucking Kane. It was unbelievable.
That's cool, dude.
I'm a tank. Did you see? Do you follow them on like social media, Life, Sex, and Death?
Mm-mm.
Stan Lee died, so they put this picture of Stan Lee, and it said, rest in peace, Stan Lee. It's like, dude, this is fucking golden.
Yeah. I forgot that guy's name was Stanley. Like, I haven't heard that name since Headbangers Ball in like 1991 or some shit.
Yeah, dude, they were fucking like revolutionary.
Yeah. They were out. It seemed like at the time they were really like stepping out of the mold. They weren't like following like the corporate rock model at all.
Right. But it was kind of like fucking Metallica mixed in with Cheap Trick, mixed in with Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
With this weird fucking twist in it.
It almost had like a Butthole Surfers kind of like attitude.
Yeah.
Random-ish kind of stuff. Like Jesus built a hot rod or something like that.
Yeah. Or,
I'm a tank.
Some fucking shit ass.
That's a lyric?
Life, Sex, and Death, yeah. Ooh, some fucking shit ass. Ooh, some fucking shit ass. Oh, some fucking shit ass. Oh, you've never heard some fucking shit ass?
I haven't heard that one.
All right, we're going to play it after we get off the air here. And we're going to close it up because I need a cigarette. And
I need to get on the car and go.
He needs to get in the car after he hears some fucking shit ass. So we're going to listen to shit ass and it rules. So let me hit my outro music. Brandon Cook, Black and Blue. As we're going out here, social media that you can tell us about. Where can people find you? Social media?
I have my own website called BrandonCookMusic.com, and I am on Facebook. I have an artist page for Brandon Cook, and I have my own personal page on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, BrandonCook_B&B, and you can check out The Loyal Order on Facebook. You can check out Metamorphosis on Instagram and Facebook, and there's blackandblue.com and Black and Blue on Facebook. I'm a busy dude, and I love playing all this goddamn great music that I'm.
Fuck yeah, and we'll see you on the Monsters of Rock cruise.
That is cruising. I'm dead.
That is cruising. Brandon Cook, Black and Blue, and Appetite for Deception.
And motherfucking Izzy Presley.
That's right. We'll see you next week. I believe I have Mike Dawson from the Adam Carolla Show will be joining me in studio. That should be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys then. Don't forget to hit up all the social media at Real Izzy Presley and Another Effing Podcast. Please buy merchandise or just send me money. You don't know how bad I need it. I'm poor. What can I say? See you next week. Don't forget, what I lack in talent, I make up for in cock. It's another fucking podcast.